Welcome to the podcast, PKP Podcast, in the air. Check it out right now. You're checking out. Tonight we have guest of honor, Troll. Guest of honor,
Troll 2.
So complimentary. I'm gonna get on my phone for the rest of
Guest
it.
of honor.
Troll 2.
It's a brilliant
Seriously.
start to your
Podcast.
This is Troll.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know, this is a very professional podcast.
It is.
My name is Joel Thomason because Paul can't say it.
He was trying to say Dave Thomas.
Hello, my name is Dave Thomason of Wendy's.
It's Joel Thomason.
G-O-H.
Just
G.O.H.
Paul's crotch chop me, X-Pac style.
Guest of honor tonight. This is the first podcast.
Every guest of honor is crotch chopped.
Boom.
That's gonna be a thing now. But anyways, starting out, this is the flagship. This is the pilot. This is it right here. We have 8 people. We have one more coming tonight. Bear Grylls from Man vs. Kind of Wild. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. I really don't care. But let's do intros.
Oh yes, hi. My name's Jeremy. I am now the newest shareholder of PKP Films.
Boom.
Bought it with 13 coconuts, so I get a share in PKP Films.
So rich. He's so rich.
So I guess I'm the producer of this, so I'm going to hand it off to Dustin here.
As Jeremy said, my name is Dustin. I'm a software developer and all-around nerd. I keep the tech going here, you know? That's how we roll.
That's how we roll. Justin?
Indeed.
I thought you were just going to pass it on to Paul. Moving on.
I am Justin. I'm an artist. I work with Paul on pretty much everything. Yes.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you're unemployed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We're all employed. But anyways, PK, founder,
Yep.
maker, lover. Moving on.
My name is Dave Thomas and I'm Wendy's.
Quiet, troll.
Try the new spicy chicken and bacon club. Available for limited time only at Wendy's.
Very good. This is me. Thanks, Dave. This is going to get confusing later. I'm Troy. I'm drinking good juju right now. It's a ginger beer.
My name is Neil. I'm a Jamaican style lager. I'm also the shareholder of this company. And I bought it with 13 coconuts.
Damn it. Even shares now.
I'm the second producer now. Along with Jeremy.
Really?
Should I get this back on track?
Yeah.
Alright.
No. What?
Alright.
Yeah.
Dave,
Number 2.
friend of Paul, co-creator of Cutting Room Floor. You may have heard of it. Small movie we made. Took about 1.5 years. Glad to be here.
We got a camera going around tonight, a GoPro. Troy's got it right now, right?
Yeah, I
It's
got it
right
right
now.
here.
It's
On the
just
floor.
resting his feet on it.
Check it out for special shots and
Behind the scenes.
Is this product placement now?
kind of.
We might.
Check out GoPro.com. They have good cameras.
Extreme close up. Whoa!
Let's start off with movies, shall we?
Yeah, let's do
Movies.
it.
Movies.
Who's seen a good movie around here lately?
I guess I did.
Neat. Start us off.
Guillermo del Toro. How do you say it,
Sounds
Dave?
like a candy bar.
Guillermo? I think it's
Third
that new
ingredient.
Wonka bar.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name?
Guillermo.
Guillermo del
Del Toro.
Toro's new movie, Mama.
You saw it?
I did see it. Me and my girlfriend saw it. It's a fantastic film. Actually, I rather enjoyed it. Very creepy. It had a good touch of his sense to it, kind of like that whole, creature-looking thing. And he always has the coolest looking beasts and.
Were all his
monsters and
creatures like practical? Like were
No,
these-
this one was more special. Like the close-ups looked really practical. They still could have been special effects, but it was really well done. It was extremely creepy. Yeah, like the lady it was about these 2 feral children who pretty much are raised by this witch in the woods. Essentially, it's not to give too much of the plot away, but that really didn't. Because if you would have read anything about it, that's what you would have known it was about.
Very good.
But it's a good flick.
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was based on a short film that the director originally did, and the short film apparently was all just one take, and I guess they recreated that in the movie, where I guess there's one, like, in the short film it's like a 13-minute one long take, and I haven't seen it, so I have no idea what it is. But is there?
I was
Like-
not. What would you know what it was about? I was not aware.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Well, I bet there is
This
something
could
in
be
there that's a
completely-
really long take.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was well done. It was scary in its own right. You know, it kind of had it was kind of that monster scare where it'd like come at you real fast and you'd be like, ah, geez. But it just the feeling of it was just really creepy when it was, you know, in the area and you could really feel it. But it was a good movie. I liked it a lot. Like, it wasn't like your typical horror movie. It was.
So was there less like just trying to startle the viewer and more actually like building?
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't like, I'm gonna get you with an axe. It wasn't like coming at the camera or anything like that. It was really built around, you know, just building your feelings, atmosphere, building your feelings toward the characters and the protagonists and antagonists and their relationships and all that stuff. And it got creepy, and but it was very good. I'd recommend it.
So Del Toro, awesome director, and he's been producing a lot lately because he's been working on Pacific Rim for like the last 3 years.
Which
I
freaking awesome.
saw a trailer for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be good, but he generally picks like really good projects to produce. He doesn't just like throw his name on anything willy-nilly.
Even though the Pacific Rim looks a lot more like CG, like more than he's done before. Because I love that all of his effects before were all practical. Even like in Hellboy, he had very few like actual special effects for the characters.
Troll Market,
Yeah,
Hellboy
exactly.
2.
All those are like real.
Yeah.
But like even though the Pacific Rim doesn't look like that, it looks friggin' awesome. Like suck it to Transformers because this is like the robot movie you want to see.
Yeah.
That's not gonna suck.
Butt shots.
Let's get some butt shots.
Get
Some
some
butt
butt
shots.
shots. Get some buck shots in there.
Justin, movie you've seen?
Dustin.
Anus
You're talking to
is-
Dustin or me?
I'm talking to you now.
Oh.
Got a movie that you've seen recently that you really
You
like?
seen a movie?
Justin, do you
I-
like movies?
Did you see a movie,
Watched
Justin?
Old Boy again.
Oh, yeah!
yeah.
Vengeance trilogy.
Yeah.
Vengeance trilogy.
Oh, we're going into.
One of my favorite.
Yeah,
love
it's a
them.
really good
Exactly. I love the story. You just gave me a free Blu-ray copy because you had
Yeah.
3 Blu-ray copies at
No.
home. So
And one regular DVD. Yeah. My wife hates it, but I think
What?
only because I
So
love
good.
it so much. It's the only alternative. Like, I have such a passion for it that you can only hate it because I've taken up all the love for Old Boy.
there's almost no love for Old
No.
Boy to
Your
go
black
around.
hole of old boy love.
Oh, chock full.
When I go into movies that have like subtitles, like when I go into them, I'm just like, oh, I gotta read all this. But then I get into it, like especially like Indonesian or like anything like Asian variety, like Old Boy or like I Saw the Devil, or like or even what was it called? The one where they go in that building.
The Raid.
The Raid.
Raid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
How many
buddy, I
movies-
forgot the Raid.
how many movies can you
But even
describe
watching
it as
that,
that?
like, even though like I'm just like, oh my god, why do I even question myself? Because they're so good.
They are.
Good.
They are very good. They know how to. I mean, the Raid, like the plot was just like, okay, like it had like the 10 minutes or 15 minutes of like,
Yeah.
all right, we're just gonna, you know, there's guys in this building, and then
It really
the
only
rest,
has like 5 minutes of
I was
dialogue.
gonna say the rest of it was the Raid, and that
Yeah.
was fantastic.
I want to do a independent movie shout out. The other night I watched Unicorn City. Don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I did hear about, but I
It's
don't know
about-
anything
it's
about
about
Like a video game thing, right?
Yeah, it's
Unicorn?
it's about a group of D&D players. It's a very independent movie, but actually shot very well. And it's about these geeks that just, this guy primarily that wants to get a job at working at Wizards of the Beach instead of Wizards of the Coast. And it's about him that like makes like this RPG. And it was a good movie. It was very low budget. I could tell that it was, but it was actually shot very well, and it was, I don't want to say like super good, but it was slightly above like what we could create next year if we were to do another feature-length movie. It was pretty good.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If we were to do another feature, it would be that movie because
Stay
it was
tuned,
that
buddy.
good.
He's using
We're
that
just
as
gonna make it
motivation for
again.
you.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna make
But with
it
more
in.
Troy.
Shot by shot.
Jeremy, got a movie you saw recently you liked?
You can have a camera.
I don't know. Like, I want to talk about Moonrise Kingdom because it's got Bruce Willis in it, so I'm not allowed to see it with Loretta. It's got like this horrible thing with Bruce Willis. If he's in any movie, we can't watch it. So
That's a
I
shame.
know it's the same director that did like
Wes Anderson.
Rushmore.
yeah,
Rushmore
Rushmore.
Bombs.
Yeah.
Take my clothes off,
And-
everybody.
Great director.
Yes.
Everybody
And
applaud.
from what I hear, it's like his best movie so far is Moonrise Kingdom.
I
But
liked it.
I don't know,
saw
like-
it.
I love Tenenbaums and Rushmore. They're probably
Yeah,
my
Rush-
favorite.
Mhm.
But this is good. Very good.
Yeah.
He's getting quirkier as he goes on, and this is like his first PG-13 movie too. But no, it's good. You should watch it.
I will
Wait till
try.
she's out of there.
And
Oh,
Red 2's
God,
coming out, and I love
Looper.
Red 2, yeah, Red 2. I forgot.
Looper.
Red, I mean, it's goofy, but it's just a fun movie. I
Yeah.
thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Loretta, sorry, but you gotta dump her. You're a great writer.
One thing I want to mention about, I recently saw Looper. I got it on Blu-ray. I didn't see it in theaters, but I heard a lot of good things about it, so I figured I'd commit the however many dollars to get it. And the time travel aspect was really cool.
Mhm.
And one thing I tried to apply to it with my nerdy knowledge of what Neil deGrasse Tyson and all this is that, like,
Shout
there's
out
this
to
theory
deGrasse
of there's this
Hashtag.
issue with time travel, like the grandfather paradox, where if a person goes back in time and kills their grandpa, that would prevent them from existing, but that would prevent them from going back in time, so it doesn't make sense. And at first when I was watching it, I thought it kind of was getting around that by making it so they only send people back in time to get killed by their younger self, so that would get around that paradox. But then I don't want to ruin the ending, but the ending kind of just throws away that whole paradox. And that, I'm trying to think if that ruined it for me or not.
The line that I appreciated in that movie was there's a million different time travel rules, like there's Terminator and there's whatever there are, and
Yeah.
there's just crappy, like Terminator's awesome because you go back and he's just killing folks, he ain't getting back. But like, but there's so many movies with time travel that it's just nuts. But what Looper did that I really enjoyed is there is a scene where Bruce Willis, who is from the future and comes back, totally just calls it out. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt is talking to Bruce Willis about time travel, and Bruce Willis cuts him off and says, "It doesn't matter how it works." And which I thought was awesome because I knew there would be a lot of like people who would think about it, and he just like shut it down. It was so cool, but I know there was a bunch of beef about the whole like time travel thing and how it didn't.
Well,
work.
one thing that gets around it is the concept of the multiverse, where each time some sort of decision or event happens, it in essence splits off into two universes, where where the decision went one way and one went the other way. So in essence, this still fits with the multiverse theory. It's just I don't know if I necessarily subscribe to that, which.
Fair.
I don't really like. I like the idea of a multiverse, but I don't like that. I don't know. Like if they're gonna commit,
so many
yeah,
universes.
if they were gonna commit to like just a time travel,
There'd be like
story,
a million right now. Because I could have looked this way or that way or that way.
Yeah.
That's all a different universe. Yeah.
like if it's just a like a project of yours, why wouldn't you just commit to go? This is one straight cyclical, like loop. In Looper, why would you have to go to like a multiverse thing? Like, it's your own thing, why would you have to...
Yeah.
And I knew watching it straight through, I was like, I'm just going to watch for what it is, and I'm like, I know there's going to be freaking some paradox that I'm not seeing in it, but like watching it straight through and not thinking about it, it totally made sense to me, but I knew like, there's got to be
something wrong, but it was still really good.
Yeah.
It was done so well that like you didn't care.
I know when I watch movies, like if like a theme sticks out to me, I love it automatically. And the one thing that stuck out with me with Looper is that like it gave like Joseph Gordon-Levitt a chance to meet his future self. And like I always made the joke at ABC, like if I ever saw my past self, I'd kick his ass. I hated him so much. And that's exactly what Bruce Willis does in this. I'm like, you little bitch. And he just beats him up all the time. But the thing I loved about it the most was that in the end, like his older self was the most immature person of them all because he did all this stuff. He did everything for himself, even though he said that it was for the greater good.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt who made the ultimate sacrifice for the greater good, and that's what I loved about that movie so much.
Yeah.
The one thing that popped up into my mind immediately, and it has no bearing on the plot, but it kind of does. the looper is sent back in time to get killed by his past self, and then they put him right in the middle of this cornfield, so the past self is waiting for him, and they blow him away, and then they take him to like this factory and throw him in the furnace. And I'm just thinking, like, why don't they just teleport him right into the furnace and just cut out the middleman?
My reasoning behind I had that same thought, and I thought maybe like the time travel device,
it
travels in time, but not in space. So in the future, that's where the time traveling machine was.
Yeah.
So they would have had to have, moved it a few miles to the left.
It was quite the time machine was quite rudimentary and simple, but I like his thoughts.
I thought it was like a cement mixer at first.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just put him in a dinosaur's mouth. Why not?
There was a low-budget movie called Time Crimes that came out like the title's funny, but it's a good movie, and it came out like 4 or 5 years ago. And it had like one of the coolest ideas about time travel I thought was they could only go back in time as far as when someone turned on the time machine.
Puff pass, guys.
So they can't go back any further than someone turned on the time machine to begin with. So this guy finds a time machine and he flips it on, and immediately a future version of himself comes out of it.
That's like in Planetary.
Yeah.
Comics later.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. How could you go back further than when a time machine was turned on?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It has to turn on to work, so
Well,
you wouldn't go back to like prehistoric
Well, it depends
ages.
on what kind of time machine you're talking about. If it's one of those things like in the book of Time Machine where you sit in this machine and it goes back and forth, then I can kind of understand. Then I can see that it would allow you to go back before the machine was created. But if it's like a Stargate sort of portal, I mean, there has to be an opening portal.
What does Justin think about time travel?
Science.
Science!
Justin has spoken.
Just went philosophical. We're gonna tone it down a bit. We're gonna go to games. Games, video games, board games, card games, any game you want to talk about.
Game.
Oh, Jeremy Games.
Jeremy
Go
Games.
for it. Lateral.
So, like, the only thing I've been playing for since, like, it came out is Skyrim. Dragonborn's pretty sweet. Just really dig that game.
I haven't played the DLC yet. I know there was a couple that came out.
Yeah.
There was the vampire werewolf one, Dawnguard, and then the
Hearthfire.
Earthfire.
You can build a sweet house.
It's like the Sims and
Yeah,
Skyrim.
yep.
That was.
We ignore that one.
We ignore it, but yeah, I heard Dragonborn was really good. I don't know of all. I know you haven't played
Don't look at
Skyrim.
me
You haven't
for
played
this.
Skyrim.
No.
Okay, this half of me have played Skyrim.
I'm gonna die right now.
You guys want to all sit on the same couch?
But okay, we won't linger too long on it. But it really has, and I'm with Jeremy too. I've been playing Skyrim like forever. It is such a good game. It has so much replay value. I probably have like 5 different games started and none of them finished, just because I'm going different directions.
One thing I really like about the Dragonborn DLC is that it brings a lot back from the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, which was one of my favorite games, and probably my favorite of the Elder Scrolls series. And it just has the same feel. They even brought back some of the music from it, and that's one of the things I really loved about it. And it just
very cool.
It's kind of like a nod, tip of the hat to Morrowind.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls is going online with the newest one, and I signed up for the beta. Hopefully I get in.
Yeah, I signed up too.
I had an above average chance, it said. So.
Alright. I know the trailer of that looked
I think
almost...
everyone got above average.
The trailer looked sweet. But that was exciting.
I hear a lot about the Elder Scrolls Online being mediocre.
No, never.
It's just another MMO.
Yeah, I can see that.
I know pretty sure getting your friends together in a Skyrim setting is what I'm hoping for.
Well, I remember in Oblivion, somebody made a mod to play online, but the first screenshots of the mod were like, it will crash unless you look down constantly, and it's like everyone's calling BS. This isn't real. This is somebody.
Then you take 150 skooma and then you can run 1,000 miles per hour. So but that was a. Okay, all right. No, it's like a little drunk there. Okay, another one. Company Heroes 2. Did anyone play Company
I
Heroes?
like that game.
Company Heroes
RTS.
is a World War II role-playing game, kind of
Yes.
top-down strategy game.
Uh-huh.
Probably one of my second favorite games for PC, other than Skyrim, and that are some of my favorite games. I've been playing that one online. Company Heroes 2 offers up new stuff. It's still set in World War II. It's a good genre of games. I always enjoy World War II games, even though they've been burned out for years, but they're still good.
Just need some Wolfenstein.
I think
It just needs some Wolfenstein.
I think Company Heroes is a good take on the World War II genre, because World War II you usually see a lot of first-person shooters. This one's actually an RTS.
Yeah, this one's an RTS. It's not a first-person shooter, so it's all top-down. It's all it's how you play the strategy.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's the second one offers up new stuff. They've got a new engine built into it. They've called it True Sight, where it's almost like first person, where if your troops can't see beyond a wall, neither can you. The fog of war is beyond it, so you're not going to be able to see, which makes the strategy of the game. There's also harsh winters. It takes place in Russia and stuff, the Russian territories, and cold is a factor. You have to be by fire. Your troops will die of cold and such. Frozen lakes can be blown up, and your tank can fall through the water and such like that. So it brings in a
way too hard.
It actually does.
God mode.
There is strategy. Contra code.
Unless I shoot stuff, I'm done.
Can you put in a code to fly?
I want it.
One thing I want is a Call of Duty set in the Revolutionary War.
Oh yes!
Where it's like
Well,
it's like 3 minutes.
Yes! I just want to see a bunch of online players just like, I'm trying to stuff my musket. Damn!
Tap R.
Tap R!
You fucking bitches and your mother.
You sons of bitches!
Everyone's just gonna be running around.
Ah, where's my hatchet? Hatchet! For Sam video games, I'll go on Walking Dead. I played Walking Dead.
Let's talk about Walking Dead.
I loved Walking Dead. First of all, TV show this Sunday.
Sunday.
I want to watch it so bad.
Check it out this Sunday.
But the video game is
gonna air
ridiculously
before
insane
it.
awesome. I played it. I downloaded it. My Xbox is full. I cannot save anything else because I have that game still on there because I want to play like 8 more times.
Alright. I want to ask you a question. Somebody who has never played the Walking Dead game and I've heard so much about it. Why is everyone saying it's so good? Why?
It's so good because, first of all, it's not like I don't know. I heard when I first started playing, I thought it was going to be like a shooter game or like whatever, but it's not that at all. It's all based on your decisions.
It's like a choose your own adventure book.
Yes, exactly. It's like Goosebumps to the extreme. Like it's so good. Like you're basically
You lose
start
your
out,
page after you turn. You can't go back. That
you
choice
start
is
out,
made.
I can't remember his name, but you started as this guy. He's being sent to jail for killing his wife because she was caught with another man or whatever. You're being sent to jail, and then basically the cop car that's taking you to jail, it gets thrown off the road because it hits a walker, and then you're basically left on your own. And you find this girl that you basically feel that you're in charge of, and then the whole story after that is you run into people, and then based on your decisions, it's basically whatever you do depends on who lives and who dies, and holy hell, if every time someone dies that you're like trying to take care of, and they will pile on the guilt so hard.
It's the most depressing game.
So depressing.
Oh.
There's this little kid in the game where I was like, I'm gonna try my best to make sure this kid survives. And for like 3 episodes, I was doing everything to make sure this kid survives. And then, oh my god, like his mom just comes up to me and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, a duck got bit. I'm like,
I'm just gonna jump off this roof.
so and then after that, it's another 20 minutes of like dealing with the fact that, cause like I'm trying to convince the dad to kill him, and he's like, I can't do it. I'm like, I did my best, and then he's like blaming me, and I'm like, this video game is making me feel like I'm the biggest piece of shit in the world.
My roommate, he had this game, and I watched him play through a few episodes, and I wasn't even playing and I was entertained. It was pretty cool. Yeah. But at the same time, I didn't have anything else. It's like, oh, you're the asshole.
I watched him play a chapter.
I have no problem killing this bitch.
There's so many times where it's like,
Jeremy, you do it. I can't do
there's so many
it.
times where like 2 people are being attacked by something. I'm like, I could save him or I could save her. And then I save somebody, and then I'm like, oh, good. And then, like, not even 5 minutes later, they die, and I was like, why did I save you?
Well, here's the thing. You have to save him or her. Is her hot? If
That's what I did. That's what I did. That's what I did.
Push the dude into the chick so they both get it.
And like the gameplay is very minimal on it too. It's
Yeah,
almost
there's
like
barely
watching
any
the show.
gameplay.
You just basically like make decisions.
It's so
and you kind of
good.
walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
But what's cool is that it gives you a limited amount of time that you can make these decisions. So you can't just
Exactly.
sort of, you don't have time to like, oh, look up online and see what happens if you make this if you make this choice. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's so good. Download it, buy it.
It's at Redbox too.
It's at
That's how I did
Redbox.
it.
Redbox.
Redbox it. Don't Netflix it because there's no Netflix for games.
Last thoughts on games.
Last thoughts on games? I'm going to
Last
say
thoughts.
one thing on games. Throwback. I've been playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
I just beat that like a couple months ago.
Yes!
Probably the funnest, best game I've ever played still. Like, it is so good.
One thing I did though, I have a Grand Theft Auto 4 for the PC. I got a mod that lets you play as Iron Man. Shit out of stuff. It's so much fun.
Oh, that's tight.
Really quick, everyone's favorite game. No reason, just bing, bing, bing. Favorite game.
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Monster Hunter.
Mass Effect 2.
Come back to me.
The Activision Spider-Man game for the original PlayStation.
Good choice, Mike.
I would have to go with Metal Gear Solid 4.
Left 4 Dead.
Guess of Honor.
Left 4 Dead 2.
Hey, it's okay. I've got Bill in mind.
Coach.
Comics now, and Jeremy was turned into Yoda, a Yoda doll. Comics, what do we got? What do you got, guys?
I know nothing about comics.
I read Delbert today.
X-Cop.
These guys.
Comics are for kids.
Invincible 100 came out this month.
Ooh. I have something to say about. Go on.
I haven't read it yet because I'm a trade guy. I wait for the trades, and I just got issue 17 or volume 17, when it then goes up to 94. So that was really good, and I also forgot to bring them. Shoot.
This is
But
an
anyway.
audience. You forgot to bring them.
But anyway, the saga that they're dealing with in Invincible 100, which I think closes at 100, is called Everybody Dies. And like they've just had nothing but variant covers where like it just shows everybody dying.
And so many spin-offs to your conversation that I've lost track of what I want to go
Do you
into.
realize people are randomly trying on armor?
I did not know that, but it was damn
That's how it goes.
Anyway,
So comics.
Invincible is probably one of the the most fun, easy to read books. Like, it is like a superhero book.
Like
Like,
the best, like all-out, unabashed superhero book.
yeah, and it's funny because they make fun of a bunch of superhero tropes in it while still sticking to them, and they make them good at the same time. Like they do such, when Spider-Man got the black suit or whatever, they do that in Invincible in like issue 50 or something.
Yeah.
And he keeps it for a couple issues. They do like the going to space, the big massive super crossover arc. They do that in like issue freaking 80 or something like that.
And they do it so well, too.
And they talk like how real people talk. Adam Eve is like one of the best female characters
I would
in
say.
comics. And it's
character.
It's by Image. Robert Kirkman writes the best stuff. Anything he writes is gold.
Yeah.
Just go and go and get it. Pick it up in the trades. They have the big, thick, like
compendiums.
Magnum size.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've read all of yours because you buy them trade by trade, and then I got the compendium, which is like 64 issues, or it's less than that. It's like 50.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for him to hit 100 so I can get back into it again.
Well, they just did it this month.
I can't wait.
Rexplode back? No.
Kind of.
Best name.
All right.
Rexplode.
Yeah, Rexplode.
I'm Kirkman and trades and issue 100. I just read The Walking Dead issue 100 that was collected in the trade. I've had it for a while and I just read it. And in issue 100, one of the main characters that's been in the book since the first issue, I think, since the beginning, dies.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Good.
But, like,
Good. Don't.
I was reading it, and I had no idea. I heard that someone died, and someone dies, and it's earlier, and I was like, oh, that's too bad. And then this other one happened that's a bigger one, and it came out of nowhere. No, it didn't come out of nowhere. They kind of lead up to it, and they like slowly take it out. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh no. No. And then it happens, it's like, boom. And like my heart sank. Like, I have never read something and felt so horrible when this happened. I felt like someone kicked me in the stomach.
Oh man.
And it's so crazy. Like I'm not like I love Walking Dead, but I get it in the trade and then I read it whenever. And when I got to this, it was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So it was emotional.
I haven't read. I got the compendium, so like the first. I don't know how.
Yeah, you've got like 2 years.
Yeah.
Before.
But the second compendium has come out. I've just been waiting to get it. I don't know why I've been waiting to get it so long.
It's something.
Now, I've never been into the comics, but part of me thinks that I would be interested in if I got into it. What made you guys get into the comics? Like, what started this whole fascination with you?
90s cartoons is for me. Probably classic 90s X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman. Those three things every Saturday morning, Sunday morning, whatever it was. That's really what got me into it. That was fascinating. Spider-Man is still, I don't know, top of my list is one of my favorite characters.
And all of those cartoons are dated, except the Batman cartoon is still awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
It was going back and watching it was so much more adult.
So much
than you
better
remember
than when I remember it as a kid.
Yeah. There are some of those quirky moments where Batman smiles, and then you're just like, well, no, but you let those episodes slide. But
Yeah. Well, I don't think we even said this before, but me and Neil are brothers.
His last name.
Related.
Potters.
They're
but
related.
we have pictures of us, like family pictures, when we're like 2-3 years old, and we're in like full Superman.
I would say it was Halloween pictures. We were both Superman, or we were both the Flash, or we were both cameras. It was weird.
That was a weird
Halloween.
That was an off year.
Both cameras.
But like I remember Dad even like with Play-Doh, he would make like superhero figurines. Like when the Flash was on in the '90s with John Wesley Shipp as the Flash and his muscle suit. Like he would make the Flash out of Play-Doh, and I would be like, "That is the freaking awesomest thing I've ever seen in my 4-year-old brain."
Yeah.
But
I like how
I think that's what's got me into it. And I remember they got me like a whole single issue series of Spider-Man, like when I was little. And it was like some weird 90s story that probably doesn't hold up now because not a lot of 90s stuff.
I'm sure
holds up now.
McFarlane did it, and it was just rubbish.
Well, actually, McFarlane did draw a good Spider-Man. Does he write
The
well?
webbing, yep.
No. Which brings me up to another issue. There's a thing on YouTube called Spawn Year, and this channel called Geekvolution does it, and they're day by day they're reviewing a Spawn issue from January 1st all the way to December 31st, and they're going through the spin-off. They're doing them chronologically, so if there's a spin-off, they're interjecting those in there. But like, oh my god, they are so bad.
Yeah.
Early
that's funny
Spawn
too,
issues.
because when I saw the movie Spawn as a kid, like that rocked my world, and it's like an awful movie now, but I loved
I
it.
really liked that movie when I was a kid.
Absolutely. You're like, this was my first PG-13, maybe rated R film because they made two versions.
Yeah, on video it was rated R.
I mean, when you cast John Leguizamo as the main villain, you're just like, man, he was Luigi like 2 years ago. Like, whatever. But.
No, like Spawn kind of got me into it too, because I started getting like the Spawn comic after that, and I got the Spawn HBO series, and I was like, holy shit, that's
The HBO
series.
There's an animated HBO series, and it rocks.
I remember that.
The first time I ever heard an F word in a cartoon, and you're just like,
Yeah. And it's like in the first 5 seconds, followed up by many more, and then nudity, and someone's head getting
Hey, careful with
exploded.
that.
Yeah.
No, Spawn was definitely like a gateway drug, because it was like comics, like when you're in middle school, maybe comics were like, oh, it's a kid thing, and then Spawn came out, and you're like, oh no, Spawn's like he's from hell. It's like an adult thing. I feel like Spawn.
He's from the double hockey stick.
I can't remember what grade I was in. I was like probably like 6 or 7 years old. But I remember going to the grocery store and I found there was like, I'm so sorry I don't have this anymore, but I found like they had like the first Spawn comic there, and I remember buying it because I was like, comic books, awesome, buy this for my mom, and she's like, whatever. And I was like, I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever because there wasn't like a lot of blood. There was like cliffs and mounds of blood.
Oh yeah,
and, like
super
everything that could bleed bled in that thing. And I was like, this is amazing. And I remember like I need to find the next one, and I never did because I was a little kid. I had like the attention span of like a caterpillar. But I remember that was my first comic I ever bought.
Batman and the Batman family has 12 titles out right now. That's probably, and 52 only encompasses 52 new titles. And so 20% of all titles out right now is Batman family related books.
That's
And they're all really good.
And they're all really good. Like none of them have been canceled yet.
Right now we got 2 new guests right here. Check them out.
Cain and
Introduce
Abel.
yourselves.
Yes. Hi.
Hello.
They're spectating.
That's hi and hello.
Right
Here
here.
are the most original names ever.
We just talked about comics
And
for a
I'm
little
Fizzle.
bit.
Now what are we talking about?
Now we're talking about projects. We got
Projects.
PKP projects.
PKP
Self
projects.
projects.
We're creative as
Paul's Pizza Town
If you
project.
Dave, start us off.
Dave, what you doing?
All right. Well, since I have to go through Paul to do all my projects because I just think them up and then Paul makes them happen, we apparently have a couple things on the horizon. I've been told there's a new Ghost Hunter Dave movie in the works.
Ooh.
Coming out.
Nice.
Coming out.
We're gonna go back into the Kirby building where we filmed Murder Party.
There's
You
actually
two, the
were
first
murders
guys,
above.
I like them more.
There may also be a comic in the works.
Ooh.
We're
Yes.
still hammering out the details.
We are hammering out details.
drawing this?
We have Dave, myself, Troy, Justin are all part of the drawing experience for this this comic book we're coming out. Dave has got it all written. Dave's got it all written. Apparently, it's kind of like a murder party continuation with Whiskers, as Troy was Whiskers in the show. So we're doing the comic about that. But Dave may explain more about kind of what we've got going on for that. Back to you, Dave.
All right. Well, I wrote a follow-up to Murder Party immediately after Murder Party because I'm always thinking about the next thing. And I wrote it and I liked it, but it didn't have like the same spark that Murder Party was. It was like more of just a continuation of what happened in the first one. And we have all these ideas that we want to do like for another one that's more just off the cuff. So we might film that and maybe just use the script as a comic. But then I reread the script and I was like, shit, maybe it would make a good movie. So I don't know what the hell's going to happen with it.
Okay.
If Paul wants to film it, we can film it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, happens.
Exactly. Everyone here will probably be in it if we film it. So
Jeremy,
Yep.
who knows?
Even though I died,
if you want to take video,
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Troy, you have something on the horizon. Can you talk about it yet?
Yeah.
I can talk a little bit about it. Yeah. Me and a friend are. It's been an idea that I've had in my head probably since high school. Besides like getting the idea out, I've never been good at like fleshing out an idea and making it like work. And I got with somebody, and they're helping me flesh it out, and it turns out really good. We got the first issue all scripted out. We still need to add it, like break it down to what it's going to look like page by page. So that's coming up pretty soon, and I'll get started on that. But before that, I'm gonna help Dave out with his. It's like almost a behind the scenes what happens between Murder Party 1 and 2. I would like to say.
Essentially, the comic would be Murder Party 2, and then what we filmed would be Murder Party 3. If you want to boil it down to those basics, so the part 2 would be the comic. And then part 3 would be, I don't even know if we'll continue with the Murder Party name. Whiskers will be back in it, because he's like the main focus of Murder Party, the driving force.
I had a child, just a quick segue, after our filming of Murder Party, come up to me in the theater and say he was going to be Whiskers for Halloween. That's how
Yeah.
That's all
And
awesome.
you're one of your employees at your cafe.
Exactly.
One of the employees at my cafe, her kids love the movie, and we might have a Donnie Bear for the next movie.
All right. They love Jeremy's character. They love the ninja.
I thought it was the worst
character.
They
I
love
thought he was the best character.
Yes.
I always has anyone here watched Cheers?
Oh,
Yes.
all of it occurred.
Yeah.
You know, like Norm's wife Vera, who they
Yeah.
always like save and they never show. That's who I imagine Donnie Bear
You
as.
see her ankles in one episode. So maybe
Actually, there is an episode.
ankle actress.
There's an episode where they go to Carla's house for Thanksgiving, and she's in it, but you don't see her because she's got a pie in the face because
Yeah.
somebody throws it outside. It's in the face. She comes in, and you just see her as like this unknown face, but a body.
It's kind of like Wilson was revealed in Home Improvement that one time.
That's all. That's ruined.
And he was just a dad with Richie Rich.
You only see a portion. You
Yep.
never see the full
Yep.
face.
There was a part where they paper mache his face and they only show his mouth.
Yeah.
But then it really
You can put 2 to 2 together though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You get 4.
2 and 2 is 4.
Joe, we got any project coming up?
Me and Troy are working on another version of the podcast. We don't know when it's gonna come out. We are looking into deets. We're ironing out the deets right now. But
I've heard it's going to be a different kind of.
we're gonna
spin on
do
things.
a thing. We're gonna get some brews. We're gonna get some bros. We're gonna do some stuff. We're gonna talk about basically we're talking about here.
Doesn't sound very different.
No, it's basically if you like this, look out for me and Troy's because it's gonna be the exact same thing, but probably less people.
If you've sat through this, you can fall asleep.
Yeah,
through that.
if this kept your attention, you can definitely use ours as a form of listening. I'll post it on my Twitter or whatever at Bucky for Everyone. Buck BUCKY number 4 everyone. I'll post it on there. Look it up. Twitter. Booyah.
Link. My stuff's all classified. Let's go to Justin's stuff. Actually,
Oh,
no.
jeez.
We're coming back
Area
to it.
51.
Me and Justin, we've been working on merchandising for PKP stuff.
Merchandising.
We got posters going on. Currently, we have the GHD poster done. This is kind of a reveal right here.
Not quite done.
Whoa.
It's getting there. It's getting there. We're gonna have
You
Ghost
can
Hunter
see
Dave.
it later.
Right.
GHD
yes,
Ghost Hunter.
Yeah, you gotta throw away these
GHD
acronyms.
poster is being worked on.
Abbreviations mean it's cool.
We got a Troy Potter series poster being worked on.
Ooh.
I didn't even know that.
It's coming out. It's kind of secret.
By
This-
worked on, he doesn't. I didn't
the
start it
concept.
yet.
The concept is there.
Yeah.
He's gonna make Justin do it one of
It'll,
these days.
Yeah.
it'll happen eventually.
As you know already, if you're on the website, On Patrol is basically done. We have all the other series being worked on for posters and possibly T-shirts in the future. I don't know.
All right.
Hey, you know what? If you're a fan of the Man vs. Kind of Wild series, episode 4 might be coming out soon of the second season.
He'll teach you how to
That
survive.
stuff isn't online yet.
Man vs. Kind of Wild movie might come out.
No,
No,
I'm not promising anything, but we might have a bear and snake grills
I'm back.
right here.
I think we should.
We're moving on to the viral video of the week,
Oh,
of the month.
what? Before we get there,
Oh, we have something?
our previous project, Cutting Room Floor, is now available at Tammy's Piggly Wiggly in Galena, Illinois.
Are you serious?
Nice! And the cafe.
And the cafe. And
Mindframe Theaters.
Check out Mindframe Theaters.
The wonderful
Dubuque, Iowa.
establishment that let us film the cutting room floor
.com?
and its grounds.
The film is available there for purchase.
Buy it.
If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the
We got an email address right here.
Go on, point
Comments
to it.
right here.
Point to it. You know
Right
you
here.
want it.
thing down below.
Comments.
Right here.
Comments. Comments.
Email us, tweet us,
Comments.
message us, like us.
Comment. Comment right here. Comment.
Comment on his penis.
Yeah. It's good. You know you like it.
First of
Yeah.
all, I'd like to thank Joel Thomason for showing up today. Guest of
Are
honor.
you
He gave
proposing
me a
to him?
ride.
Are you married? No, I'm
So
joking.
drunk. Jesus.
Oh, it's not in the commitment.
So now that we're at the end of the podcast.
Viral
Thank you for
video!
watching.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Right now, viral video of the month. We have Harlem Shake, right?
Harlem Shake.
All of the versions.
Skladoosh.
All
It's
of
pretty
them.
big, actually. We've had there's apparently 5 versions out. There's the firefighter version. There's the college humor version. There's
I'm sure there's more. But
there's the lingerie version. Right
Ours
now,
is gonna be
you
better.
showed me the dude
Sponsor.
version.
Yeah.
there's going to be a dude.
Justin
there's
and
one-
There's a lingerie version?
Right now,
Ours is gonna be
right
better.
now, we're going to
Push
show
up.
you
You gotta
the
push those babies
the
up.
creepy weird
PKP version.
Ours is
coming
gonna be
out
way better.
right now. Actually,
Right now. Hey.
Right now.
Con los terrores